In light of ongoing market turbulence, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has underscored the government's commitment to a stringent approach toward public spending. During a recent interview with Sky News political editor Beth Rigby, Starmer articulated that the Treasury would adopt a ruthless strategy in cutting government expenditures to stabilize the economy and promote growth. Starmer emphasized that the primary focus of his administration is economic growth, stating, "The number one mission of this government is economic growth. This mission has been woven into the fabric of the government's budgetary framework." But Starmer insists that the government is taking additional steps to stimulate economic expansion. He mentioned pulling those levers of change, which implies a multifaceted approach that goes beyond mere fiscal policy adjustments. The current economic climate in the UK is marked by volatility, with both long-term and benchmark government borrowing costs rising. On a recent Monday morning, the effective interest rate for 30-year government bonds, known as gilt yields, surged to 5.47%. This figure represents a peak not witnessed since mid-1998, indicating a significant shift in borrowing costs that could have far-reaching implications for government financing and public services. Simultaneously, the 10-year borrowing cost reached 4.86%. While this figure is below the high recorded in 2008, it remains at levels comparable to those observed during the global financial crisis. The implications of rising borrowing costs are profound, as they can lead to increased debt servicing costs for the government, potentially diverting funds away from essential public services and investments. Starmer's commitment to cutting government spending is rooted in a desire to regain financial stability amid fluctuating market conditions. As borrowing costs rise, the government faces a pressing need to manage its fiscal responsibilities effectively. The rationale behind these austerity measures includes: 1. Restoring investor confidence. By demonstrating fiscal discipline, the government aims to restore confidence among investors and financial markets. A stable economic environment is crucial for attracting investment, which is essential for driving growth. 2. Sustainable public finances. High levels of borrowing can lead to unsustainable public finances, increasing the risk of future economic crises. By implementing spending cuts, the government seeks to ensure that its financial commitments remain manageable and sustainable over the long term. 3. Mitigating inflationary pressures. Rising government borrowing can contribute to inflationary pressures in the economy. By reducing spending, the government hopes to alleviate some of the inflationary burdens, ultimately benefiting consumers and businesses. 4. Enhancing economic competitiveness. Starmer's administration recognizes that a competitive economy is vital for long-term growth. By streamlining government expenditures, resources can be redirected toward initiatives that enhance productivity and innovation. While the push for austerity may be framed as a necessary measure to stabilize the economy, it is essential to consider the broader implications of such cuts on public services and social welfare. 1. Healthcare. The National Health Service (NHS) has been under significant strain, especially following the COVID-19 pandemic. Cuts to government spending could exacerbate existing pressures, leading to longer wait times and diminished quality of care for patients. 2. Education. Schools and educational institutions rely heavily on government funding. Reductions in spending could hinder educational outcomes, particularly in disadvantaged areas, where resources are already limited. 3. Social programs. Many vulnerable populations depend on social welfare programs for support. Spending cuts may disproportionately affect these individuals, leading to increased poverty and social inequality. While Starmer emphasizes economic growth as a primary goal, the approach of cutting government spending raises questions about the potential impact on development initiatives. 1. Investment in infrastructure. Infrastructure projects are crucial for long-term economic growth. Reductions in government spending could delay or scale down necessary infrastructure investments, ultimately hindering economic development. 2. Innovation and research. Government funding often plays a pivotal role in driving innovation and research initiatives. Cuts may stifle advancements in critical areas such as technology, healthcare, and environmental sustainability. 3. Job creation. Government spending is often a catalyst for job creation, particularly in public sector roles and through public works projects. Austerity measures could lead to job losses, further exacerbating economic challenges. Starmer's commitment to austerity is not without political ramifications. The decision to cut government spending could influence public perception of his leadership and the Labour Party's broader electoral prospects. 1. Public sentiment. Economic conditions directly affect public sentiment. If citizens perceive that spending cuts are detrimental to their livelihoods and well-being, it may lead to disillusionment with the government. 2. Opposition critique. Political opponents may seize on austerity measures to criticize the government, arguing that they prioritize fiscal discipline over social welfare. This critique could resonate with voters who feel the impacts of cuts in their daily lives. 3. Future electoral strategies. The approach to government spending will likely play a significant role in shaping future electoral strategies for the Labour Party. Balancing fiscal responsibility with social justice will be crucial in appealing to a broad voter base. While immediate austerity measures may address short-term concerns, it is essential for the government to articulate a long-term economic strategy that positions the UK for sustainable growth. 1. Diversifying the economy. A focus on diversifying the economy can help mitigate risks associated with reliance on specific sectors. Investments in emerging industries, such as green technology and digital services, can provide new avenues for growth. 2. Fostering innovation. Encouraging innovation through targeted investments and incentives can drive productivity and competitiveness. Policies that support research and development will be crucial for maintaining the UK's position in the global economy. 3. Enhancing skills and education. Investing in education and training programs can equip the workforce with the skills needed for future job markets. A well-trained workforce is essential for attracting investment and driving economic growth. Sir Keir Starmer's assertion that the Treasury will take a ruthless approach to cutting government spending reflects a critical response to ongoing market turbulence and rising borrowing costs. While the emphasis on economic growth is commendable, the implications of austerity measures must be carefully considered. The potential impact on public services, social welfare, and long-term economic development raises important questions about the balance between fiscal responsibility and the needs of citizens. As the government navigates this complex landscape, it is essential to prioritize strategies that promote sustainable growth while ensuring that vulnerable populations are not disproportionately affected by spending cuts. Looking ahead, the UK must adopt a holistic approach that encompasses both immediate fiscal measures and long-term economic strategies. By fostering innovation, diversifying the economy, and investing in education, the government can lay the groundwork for a resilient and prosperous future. The challenge lies in balancing the need for austerity with the imperative to invest in the well-being of all citizens, ensuring that economic growth is inclusive and sustainable. As the political landscape evolves, it will be crucial for Starmer's administration to engage with stakeholders, listen to public sentiment, and adapt policies in a manner that addresses both economic challenges and social responsibilities. Ultimately, the path forward will require a nuanced understanding of the interplay between fiscal policy and the broader societal context, paving the way for a more robust and equitable economy.